What is post Jordan Poole life with the Warriors, with Mr. Chris Paul, not young but not done, coming to town?
Kumbaya. Everybody loves each
It's
other.
wild. Before you answer this, and I've been saying this, I think it's so funny that, like, the idea of adding Chris Paul to the
It's
locker room
so
is an upgrade
funny.
in chemistry. Like, is there anybody that he doesn't have beef and history with in that locker room, but he's somehow an upgrade over the vibe with Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, that's automatic reference, though, as much as you can say about Chris Paul. You know, if he's got the ball and you're Jonathan Kuminga and he tells you to cut, you're not clapping like, yo, pass me the ball so I can shoot. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's still Chris Paul, right? Like, it's still an OG. You know, I think the bigger upgrade isn't necessarily leadership. It's somebody – they just need another player who can have the ball in his hands and Steve Kerr not have a heart attack. Like, that's what they need. That's what they had with Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston, even going back to Jarrett Jack with under Mark Jackson. Teams are going to double Steph. They're going to do it. You got to have somebody else who can have the ball. And Jordan Poole, as much as I love him, like, you just don't know what you're getting. It was like, you know, Will at the dice table last night. He was like, you know, it may hit, it may not, right? Like, especially this season. So I think they need that. They need, especially late in the game and playoffs, fourth quarter.
Hey, look who's on TV,
Can't
Chris
bear
Paul.
it. Can't bear the turnover. Like, they feel good about putting the ball in Chris Paul's hands.
And you also want to be able to remain functional on offense because you know Steph's going to miss time, whether it be second night of back-to-backs. He ends up missing like
That's
20
the
or so
problem, though.
games.
You know Chris Paul going to miss time, right? Like, and what if those missed
Right.
times coincide,
Coincide.
right?
I
Like,
know. I
that's
love
it.
so CP is your load management solution.
like,
Yeah, but I mean, but a lot of times when Steph was out and Jordan Poole was running the offense, there was a whole lot of everybody watching Jordan Poole. And then with CP,
But, hey,
you're going to move the ball the way you want to move
In
the
baseball,
ball.
they call them innings eaters, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
you just need a dude to give you 5 innings, right?
Yeah,
Jordan
sure.
Poole, one of the best innings eaters in basketball, right?
No doubt.
Clay out, Jordan like, yo, I got this. Because he was a starter who were just waiting for an opportunity to start. He play every game. He's going to play 30 minutes. He'll take the 25 shots. He'll be fine if he costs you the game. Like, he
Right.
can handle it. He ain't going to fall apart. Like, he did that. And with as old as this team is, you need somebody to give you, all right, 20 games, it's yours.
Marcus
Yeah.
is the only beat writer in history who came out here, decided to analyze the Jordan Poole trade by saying, you know what? He's basically Levon Hernandez. That's where we're at.
I mean, basically, right? No, who's the guy? Come on, you know my guy, Yasmero Petit.
Yusmero Petit.
You a Giants fan? How do you not know this?
I'm an old Giants fan.
He had some good
Unless they
years,
got
like
like
spot starter,
Unless they got like
reliever.
four,
Yeah.
like
But
four
he wasn't
trophies,
an
I give up.
innings eater.
Yeah, no, because they
He
would
was
do
a reliever
They
who
would
could
do the
spot
opener.
start.
Yeah, they would do the opener, give him 2, and then Petit got you for the next 6. You're good,
I
right?
feel bad
He
for
had a
saying
couple good years
we
for
went
the
from
Giants.
talking salary cap to like
I've lost control of this pod.
Oh, yeah.
mid-relief pitchers
I'm,
that don't nobody
I'm
know.
down to just name some random relievers while we're at
Man,
it. I'm
Yasmero
over
Petit's
here.
whip is unquestionable.
I'm over
Talk-
here drinking
wonder-
something
wonder-
that's not powerful enough.
I'm just trying to
Sam,
wonder
get us
about
on
like how
track.
Scott Air got a MVP vote in 2005.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm trying to figure out.
You
Like,
see what I got to
how
deal
did-
with every week?
How did Scott Air get an
All right,
MVP
you
vote in
knock it off.
2005?
You can't tell me
He threw
Walt
like-
Weiss was the 87 Rookie of the Year. Like, you can't.
He threw like 68 innings as a setup guy. Had like a 3.2 ERA, and he got
Next segment, we're talking Mike Eldreddy.
He got a 10th place MVP vote. Makes no sense.
All right, here's why I kind of love the Warriors move with CP. I'm going to pretend you guys are not even talking. I told Andre Iguodala this the other day. He made a visit to the California Classic, caught up with him a little bit. Like, and I'm biased because I'm in my 40s, right? I was like, Dre, like, I kind of love seeing the old heads just decide, like, we're going to do it our way, and we're going to go ahead and try to make this thing happen one last time and lean into it. Because it was so uncomfortable the last couple of years with when you knew that Stephen Clay and Draymond, like, even before the punch, that they were, to a degree, having to be political. Like, oh, Jordan's great, and James is great, and all these different guys. Like, I don't know if it's going to work, but I love that they wrote the script. We'll see if they can do it. It reminds me a little bit, and this is a cautionary tale, is like the disastrous Lakers team of a couple of years ago when LeBron was the one who wanted Russ, and they tried to do that with LeBron and AD and Russ, and it blew up in their face. But basketball-wise, like, do we think
I was
if
thinking-
they're healthy?
I thought you was going before that with Steve Nash to the Lakers.
Right.
Oh, boy.
That
You know
didn't
what I'm
work out.
saying?
Yeah.
But I think the interesting thing with this union with CP and the Warriors is the Warriors have had a whole lot of success playing their way. And CP has had a whole lot of success playing his way, and those ways are very different, right? It's a whole lot of CP on the ball, come set the pick for me. We're going to run the same play over and over again. And with the words, it's all just spontaneous ball movement. We're running off screens. Steph's on the ball, Steph's on the ball, Clay's on the ball, Clay's off the ball. And we kind of just figure it out as we go. And with CP, he's constantly in control of every possession, where guys are standing on the court, who's setting picks for him. And he's just going to have to adapt to playing a much different way.
I don't think so, though. I think
No, he's gonna be himself.
But I think
That's
they
what they want.
need that other level. Like
You
the
gotta have
game
some
ain't
variance,
always,
right?
yeah. Like that's what happened to them. They said they maxed out. I don't think they maxed out. Fourth quarter, close ball game. They got cooked by Lonnie Walker because they couldn't go back down and score because the Lakers are a good defense, and you can't just. LeBron knows every play you running, so you can't just rely on, I hope he makes a mistake when I cut back there. Like, at some point, you need somebody to be like, yo, I got the ball, and you're not going to stop me. And if they double team Steph Curry, they don't have anybody else who could do that. Now that's where you're like, all right, CP got this. The question is, when it's time to run, what do they do with CP? But I feel like this is one of the best point guards of all time. He'd figure it out.
Yeah, I think we also need to give Chris Paul more credit than that. That dude is so smart.
Oh, no question.
People said the same stuff when he went to Houston, was going to play with James Harden. How's he going to work? That first year in Houston, it was like magic. Those two guys were so good together figuring out how to play. I mean, my question more is, okay, so Chris Paul, let's say he's as good as he was this past season, maybe even a little bit better. Maybe he's closer to what he was in Phoenix a couple years ago when he was awesome. What's going to happen defensively? Because you mentioned,
Can't play
okay,
Poole
Jordan
and CP,
Poole out
yeah.
there is a little different. Chris Paul's not. He's so smart and he fights so hard, but he's not the defender that he was 10
No
years
question,
ago
yeah.
because he's almost 40. And he doesn't have the size. So now you got him and Steph and Clay out there, and Clay isn't what he used to be defensively either.
Correct.
Even though he competes and he's smart,
Yeah.
but he's not an all-defense caliber guy like he used to be. So now the question becomes, okay, you're going up against a team that has a couple of really good wings or a couple of really good guard, really good wing, and now do you have to bench Chris Paul for the end of that game?
I mean, but look,
how are you going to figure it out?
Or
defensively?
you got to figure out the start. Chris Paul, I don't know how Chris Paul starts. How does he start?
There's no way he can start.
How does he start?
There's no way he can start.
I'm pretty sure he might think he's starting. He might think he's starting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Jordan Poole thought
Can we
so
go bigger
too.
picture, though, too, beyond the defensive concerns? Like, take all the context of the history and what all of them have accomplished away, including Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Just in right now, 2023-24, today's NBA, the Western Conference. Like, is this a good team? Is this a top 4 team? Is this a title contender? What is this?
I mean, as long as you got Steph, Draymond, and Clay, you're going to be in it. Even if they're the 6th seed going into the playoffs, they're going to be dangerous once they get there because they know how to win. They know how to get it all together and figure it out. And we know Steph can always blow up at any moment when you need a win. So they're going to be dangerous whether CP figures it out or not just because those 3 guys just know how to win playoff games.
I feel like health is a huge factor, and I think this is one. You'd be like, oh well, if any team you can say if they're healthy, yeah, that's
I'm
true.
loving all your voices, by
That's
the way.
true,
This
right?
is good.
But I mean, some teams are higher risk than the others, right? Clippers is like, yo, prove to me you can be healthy. I think health is a real concern with the Warriors. Like,
No doubt.
they got about 3 or 4 guys who should not be playing 75 games, right? Like, you're asking for them to fail in the playoffs. And to me, I feel like their best players are good enough, but we all know that's not how you win a title, man. Like, it's Christian
yeah.
Braun coming off
Yeah.
the bench doing,
Bruce
you know what I'm
Brown.
saying? Like, it's Bruce Brown. It's those. So to me, it depends on Moses Moody. It depends on Jonathan Kuminga. But the key is not even one of those guys. It's Wiggins. The reason they struggled because
Yeah.
Wiggins was gone for like 3/4 of the season, and when he did play, he was hurt, right? And you could see a different Wiggins in the playoffs. Like, he wasn't the Wiggins that won a title.
Nah,
They won a
nah.
title because Wiggins was a monster. So if Wiggins can get back to that, because you're talking about who guard who, the answer to all of those questions is Wiggins.
Wiggins,
right? Like, who's going to guard Wiggins? Wiggins, maybe some Kuminga, and more Wiggins, right? And Draymond, obviously. But
Yeah.
to me, the answer to the question is in the other dudes, right?
Sure.
Like, that's what it's going to be. Then you lose Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
So now it's even more like, what will they have? How good will these guys be?
What's my man name? Pudmitsky was the rookie.
Pajimski.
Pajimski.
Yeah,
He gonna get
Brandon
him some rum
Pajimski.
this year too. Why not?
You think?
Steve don't play rookies. Come on, man.
You think? I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask you something. Kuminga's really talented, and he's had great moments. But I feel like he has never been in Steve Kerr's circle of trust. Like, even when he's playing well and he's out there, like, he you know something's going to happen where he could potentially fall out. Does he get to a point this year where he just enters the circle of trust?
I don't think you got a choice. I don't think you got a choice. I think, that was one of them little behind the scenes, little tug of wars. Like the management wanted them to play the youngsters more. Steve and the veterans like, man, we need people who can win. So they basically just got rid of everybody who could possibly.
Hey, sometimes good stuff comes out of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he has a choice now.
When I was covering the Thunder, I think they wanted Alex Abrinas to play some more. It's a shooter from Spain, and good young player, good shooter. And Billy Donovan kept playing Anthony Morrow. Just kept playing Anthony Morrow. It was Morrow's last year in the season, the last season of his career. And at the trade deadline, guess who got traded?
Right.
Anthony Morrow.
Get him up out of here.
No choice but to play Alex Abrinas.